right next to the book. Maybe explain what that is.
Okay, so eventually we made a movie, and I've got to introduce you that this man came along, Simon Carter, and he joined the project not long after. That was December 2020, and I remember the date, December 4th. You came in. So we've got Gil Ben Moshe as the lead producer.
Yep.
And three of us are mates. And we've been the core team, I guess you would say. Even though we had some amazing talent come in, we've seen it through from inception to now. So you are the director of photography, you are the editor, you are the production supervisor, and you are the co-producer. So a massive job. And that involved us, fleshing out this whole story. It evolved into something, I won't say totally different, but just it grew and grew from the book into something else, which I like. I didn't want to be the type of director that is slavishly. I'm a writer director, but I never want to be just slavishly following what I've written.
Yeah, you're not like locked into it has to remain blah blah blah, because it definitely didn't. Characters were removed, completely new storylines were added.
Yes.
Which I think is great, because you've got to be confident in your work, but you've got to be open to, maybe not open to change, but open to potential improvements.
I think it's a tough one. You've got to let go of your writing, and you've got to put on your director hat as if you didn't write it, because that's the advantage that directors have. I view very much directors are different to writer-directors. The two are different beasts. And the advantage directors have is they can see the weaknesses in the writing easily.
Yeah.
But I also find it great, and a good experience for people who want to read the book and then watch the movie, is that you get, I won't say two different stories, but you can see the differences, and they're both kind of equal in their own way, just different, and then what you asked about the awards. So eventually we got to the film festival circuit. We had a bit of success, and this was one here we won Best Experimental Film at the Titan International Film Festival in Sydney.
Yeah. And you went along to the awards night, got handed that on stage.
Yes.
We can maybe insert, a photo or some clips. But I don't think I may have won a few awards, none that are coming to me, but none that I got invited to on stage, and received an award. And that wasn't planned for. That was, you were unprepared. Like that's a nice little story. So you turn up to the event.
Right.
There was three of you. The two other, lead producer, co-producer, and yourself. They put on a spread.
Yes.
And you were under the impressions that we won like a heat. I think they did 4 heats.
I think there was we won a season or something. I think it was 3 seasons in the year, something like that. But there was a bit of anyway, the bottom line is there was a bit of a communication breakdown. And so I'm sitting there, and so I was told that you won't need to you'll get an award, but you won't need to give a speech. So I'm sitting there, and I hear at the back, just like, Anno 2020, and I thought, that's weird. Did I just hear our title? And I heard James Mork, and I've got nothing prepared.
Yeah.
But I think from memory I just said, look, I think the way we did this film, we shot 17 cities around the world, but we used a lot of crafty techniques, and some of that involves modern technology. Some of that involves contra deals with people, because the backstory is, for a story this big, we shot the entire film for $6,000 US because we couldn't get investors. So it's basically self-financed by all of us. But there are things in this movie that I just said in the speech that I believe could provide a pathway to some people who can't. When they watch this movie, there's a way that you could go, right, I could do something like that. And for the sort of people that can't it's very tough as a director to get your first movie made. You can get short films made and so on. Maybe you can do a music clip, but a feature is very tough. Yeah. And this provides a pathway where you can show your storytelling. But also what I believe, what excites me about the movie is, as I say, it's equal to, this is a very ambitious story, but I believe it's equal in its own way. And we found a way through and a lot of that was yours as well. But just the whole team, Gil and so on, all our actors, we just grew. We found ways that, but some of them involve that technology that we hope will inspire people. Yeah.